Let's start with a scenario. Imagine you've just become the leader of a nation. The weight of the world is on your shoulders. And then you get one wish, a wish that's going to define your entire legacy. Well, today we're jumping into the story of a young king who got that exact choice. And his answer? Well, it changed everything.
No, really, take a second and think about it. What would you ask for? Crazy wealth? A long, healthy life? Maybe power over your rivals? It's the ultimate what-if question, right? And it's the very question a brand new king was about to face.
So before we get to his mind-blowing request, you have to understand the incredible pressure this guy was under. Let's really set the stage here.
Okay, so meet Solomon. He's just taken over the throne from his dad, the legendary King David. I mean, those are some huge shoes to fill. The records say he got his kingdom on solid footing pretty quickly, and God made him exceedingly great. But this wasn't a time for celebration. It was the starting line of a marathon he probably felt totally unprepared for. So what's his first big move as king? Is it some kind of power play? Nope, it's an act of massive public humility. He gets all the leaders together, we're talking military commanders, judges, the whole shebang, and makes 1,000 offerings. This was him basically saying, hey everyone, this job is way bigger than me. I need help.
And this quote right here, it tells you everything about his mindset. He's just completely overwhelmed. He's not thinking about the fancy crown or the palace. He's thinking about all the people he's now responsible for. So many people. He says they're like the dust of the earth. The pressure must have been immense. It's right here, in this moment of feeling totally overwhelmed, but also totally humble, that something absolutely extraordinary happens. This is the pivot point for the entire story.
So picture this. Right after that huge public ceremony, that very same night, Solomon gets a divine visitor. The fires from the altars have probably died down, it's quiet, and the new king has a one-on-one with God. And there it is, the offer. No strings attached, no limits. It is, literally, a divine blank check. Anything he can dream up is on the table. This is that moment. So what would you ask for?
You know, most people would have a shopping list ready to go. More money, more power, a long, easy life. But Solomon's answer is what makes this story so powerful. It's completely out of left field, and honestly, it's a genius move.
I mean, just look at the options. He could have asked for a long life, for endless riches, for fame, for his enemies to just disappear. That's the standard wish list for any ruler, right? But he ignores all of it, every single temptation. His focus is on just one thing, getting the wisdom and knowledge he needs to do his job well.
And that's the key right there, his motivation. This wasn't for him, it was for them. He's basically admitting, I don't know how to do this impossible job. He's asking for the one thing that will help his people the most, a leader who knows what he's doing.
So how does God react to this incredibly selfless request? Well, he's more than pleased. He's impressed. And because of Solomon's choice, he not only gets what he asked for, but he unlocks a level of reward he didn't even dare to imagine. God's response is just incredible. It comes in two parts. First, he's like, done. The wisdom and knowledge you asked for, it's yours. But then comes the bonus round. He says, and because you didn't ask for wealth or honor or all that other stuff, I'm giving it to you anyway. And not just a little, I'm giving you more than any king who came before you or will ever come after you.
So, what did this unbelievable prosperity, the direct result of one wise choice, actually look like on the ground? The source gives us some pretty staggering details that paint a picture of a kingdom that's almost too rich to be real.
First up, let's talk military might. Solomon ends up with 1,400 chariots. To put that in perspective, this was the ancient world's version of a fleet of fighter jets. It was an overwhelming and incredibly expensive symbol of power. And of course, to pull all those chariots, you need horses. A lot of horses, 12,000 to be exact. This shows a massive logistical operation. He had horses stationed in special cities all over the kingdom. It was a military machine like no one had ever seen. And yeah, this was a mind-bogglingly expensive operation. The text even gives us a price list. A single chariot imported from Egypt cost 600 shekels of silver. A horse was 150. So Solomon's wisdom didn't just make him a good judge, it made him a brilliant international businessman controlling these super lucrative trade routes. But this quote, this says it all. This is what happened because of his wisdom. The kingdom's economy exploded so much that precious metals, silver and gold, became as common as rocks on the ground.
Can you even wrap your head around that? A city so rich that gold was basically gravel. It's just a stunning picture of a kingdom at its absolute peak, and it all flowed from that one single choice.
And that brings us right back to where we started. This whole story suggests that the things we often run after, the money, the fame, the power, maybe they aren't the main goal. Maybe they're just the byproducts you get when you chase something more important first. Solomon's choice really makes you think, what's truly valuable? What does real wealth actually look like?